Hey guys, Romie here. So this is my review for Being Mary Jane. What is this? Season 4? Yeah, season 4, episode 3, Getting Real. The episode starts off with, look, Mary Jane is over it. She's over it because she's talking to Kara, and my whole thing is, Mary Jane, this is your fault. You knew that Kara was warning you that you can't trust her. You cannot trust Rhonda. She's going to stab you in the back. Actually, she did you one big favor. She brought in Justin to stab you in the face. You know Justin doesn't like you. You know Justin has this huge complex over. It's weird. It almost feels like Justin has a complex over this black woman who is presenting herself a certain way. It's just like, if you don't live to my misogynistic um, expectations, then you know what? Screw you. Then forget you. Then you're a disappointment. Then you're a waste and you're trash. But Mary Jane, she talks to her brother because she's trying to figure out where she's gonna live. As I said, she's living in a hotel right now, but her time there's almost up. So, her younger brother's in town. Actually, he has a nice, cushy corporate real estate job, and she's like, you know what? This is all legit. This is all in the books. I always have people looking out for me. It's a great time. She's like, you know what? I'm proud of you. Good for you. So what about this place? Because this place is perfect in that view. Well, yeah, this is a $15 million loft apartment in house, if you will, in Manhattan. So she was like, so I want something just like this, but with like two zeros gone. Hey, anyway, um, she's back at work and Kara is in charge of this cooking segment. The cooking segment that is actually going to get pulled. Why? Because their executive producer lets it be known. Now I was talking with Justin, and he has some great ideas. Maybe we can go and run point and have our other anchor go and take the time slot. And it was like, oh, but that's pretty messed up. What's Kara supposed to do with this stuff? Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. She'll figure it out. We'll save it for next time. It's all cooking stuff. So stuff she probably had to not throw away, but it's like tell everyone go and eat it, go and eat it. Um, put it here, put it there. Anyway, the issue right now is we have Mary Jane, and she doesn't really have a voice in these meetings. It's more so Kara that's able to at least be more vocal about what's going on and how she feels since she is, excuse me, since she's one of the producers. The problem with that is Rhonda is over there, and of course she has Justin. So whatever Justin says goes. Right now, they're trying to focus on how they can build their build viewership so that they can generate more money. And one part is social media. So now we have this girl who clearly she comes off as very less than smart. Now she's essentially taken over a major segment, and it's going to be on the TV instead of Mary Jane. And because it was like, oh, Mary Jane can't go and do this really professional segment because her demeanor and how she comes off, it can be very, well, he didn't go into detail, but it's just like your interviewing styles don't match. Ergo, you're not good for this job because you rub people the wrong way. We don't want to scare people off. Uh, when she tries and goes to talk to the producer says, the executive producer, he says, you know what? No, no. I need to bring in Justin because I feel like Justin's voice needs to be heard. I'm thinking this man is really running behind this other man that just came here. So then Justin lets it be known, here's the problem. And they show the interview when she was interviewing that woman for the ugly black girl segment. And she called her, well, I think you're an ugly black girl too. And Justin was saying how Mary Jane was putting her own agenda in the forefront instead of focusing on what was most important, making sure they had a good interview. Here I am looking at this situation like, Justin, you really don't like Mary Jane. It's very apparent. So she goes and talks with Kara, and they're trying to formulate a new plan, figure out a way how to deal with Justin since it looks like he's not going anywhere, since Rhonda loves him. Mary Jane, while she's at home, she's talking with Lee, and she's kind of hinting the fact that she's looking at places and trying to see if he's going to take the bait and say, you know what, maybe we should move in together. Maybe we should think about coming in together. But he was just kind of saying, well, of course, I need you to meet my kids first. I don't know how far this relationship's really going to go, so I want to take things slow, is what he's trying to tell her without really telling her. And she, while that's happening, because she's kind of irked since he's watching TV and she doesn't have any space to herself, she's like, okay, so what are you watching? And it's essentially like Love and Hip Hop, but uh, being produced by Mary Jane, the producers of Being Mary Jane. And Cardi B's on this episode. She plays, what was it, Charmaine, I believe, if I'm not mistaken. Cristal, Charmaine, whatever. I'm calling her Charmaine. Actually, no, I'm calling her Cardi B. So Cardi B's on this episode, and she's playing a ratchet hood girl who is living with her ex baby daddy. Essentially, Mary Jane is trying to see what type of segment she can bring in so she could have a voice there again. And while she's doing that, Kara is looking into Alex. Alex is one of the anchormen on the show. She figures, you know what, I can go and work with him. I can work with him, do the whole sports thing, and maybe that's my way of getting myself into the door, since they clearly don't want me here. They more so tolerate me here. Mary Jane's in her office and she's watching Cardi B and saying, maybe we can go and have her, since they want me to come up with new topics and new ideas and focus on demographics that are growing. Definitely the 18 to 25 range is watching shows like this and emulating people like this. So maybe if we bring her on and I talk to her, it could be good. And you could produce her. It's perfect. But we have to make sure that Justin doesn't intercept it and mess it all up. What ends up happening is when it was brought up in the meeting, Cara was bringing it up. Mary Jane wasn't doing too much. She was just kind of doing a general cosign. The executive producer decides, you know what, Justin, you should have point on this. So like, wait a minute, what? Yeah, you should have point on this, so that, because Justin was still, degrading it as well. I'm like, oh God, Justin, just go away, man. Just go away. Mary Jane ends up having to work with him because the producer's thinking, great, we'll have some fresh eyes and fresh ideas on this new segment. And we just need ratings. We just need to make sure that we get the results. Everyone is essentially paying for themselves by putting in the work and bringing in the ratings. Ratings, ratings, ratings. Justin gives them, talks to them afterwards and lets it be known that, hold on. Hello? Hi. Alright, I'm actually in the middle of a video. Okay, yeah, I'll call you right back in like 10 minutes or so. Alright, okay. Bye. Yeah, sorry about that. Yeah, so then Mary Jane is trying to talk to Justin at least and figure out ways that the two of them could work together. Justin lets me know, here's my real issue with you. My real issue with you is you thought that you could, run game on me. But I intercepted it. I don't want to work with you. Trust and believe. Because the thing is, the reason why you weren't working at ESPN or at your other position that you keep saying I got you fired for, that wasn't my fault. It was based on what you were doing. So even if I was the one who brought it up, your actions were the main reason why you lost the job. And the thing is, he's partially right, which irks me, but still, he's doing everything he can to make sure that Mary Jane doesn't succeed. And we see that, so I'm not going to go and put this all on her, but she does have to take some accountability. Regardless of if what she was saying or doing was right, part of her actions caused herself to be put in the spot for her to lose her job. Anyway. Cara goes and, because again, she goes and smoozes Alex and convinces Alex to meet her outside of the office. And she says, I want to produce you. I want to produce your sports segment. My what? Yeah, your sports segment. I want to produce that. Maybe I can go and pull some information out. Well, no. She didn't say it to him, but she went to, what's his name, Gary? We're going to call him Gary, the executive producer. And it's like, yeah, Gary, I'm working with Alex, and we're going to work together to get some information, and the ratings will be huge. I think it'll be fabulous. He's like, oh, yeah, ratings, good. You see where I'm going with this. So, Cara, she does everything she can to make sure that Alex is up to par, because right now, he is bringing in the rear. He's more so he's not confident, he's unsure of himself. So she says, so during a game, how do you get comfortable? How do you get ready for this? And so she took off his regular jacket, put on his jersey or his cap, and he did better. He did better. It wasn't perfect, but he did a lot better. So now she's thinking, okay, I can work with this. So they actually go and kind of play around with each other professionally, and she puts on his clothes and his jersey and his hat, and she just emulates what he does. It's like, yeah, bro. And in the middle of the ninth inning, and anyway, we already see that there's some kind of relationship budding there. Um, Mary Jane is having, she really, 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 really wants to move things fast. And we know that she, not purposely, but usually sabotages her own relationships. She's trying to go and find out as much as she can about Lee. Lee realizes where this is going. So he says, you know what? I want to find out more. I want to find out more about you because you're the type of person where you want what I want. It's your way. But what about the other person? So he takes her to a sex shop and they're looking at all these sex toys, and they find what was it? They find butt beads, and he was like, "Oh, I didn't know you like that stuff. That'll be fun for you." It's like, "No, no, that's not for me. That's for you." And he said, "No, I don't like that. But what I will say is, as in, I was like, no, he likes a little butt play." Hmm. That threw me off. Kind of how they were painting his character, I'm not really surprised, but I was a little surprised that they went in that direction. I get that they're trying to emulate like what real life is and how a lot more people are open to certain things than you think they are. And while we move past that, Kara is, still talking to Alex, and when he takes off his jersey, he didn't have a shirt under there, so he was shirtless. I'm thinking, Lord, if anyone walks in, how this will look. So he takes a picture of her, in his getup, and I'm thinking, okay, we'll see how this goes. Mary Jane decides she's gonna appease Lee and stick a finger in there, and he appreciated it immensely. But once she was done, they tried to have sex. That didn't go so well because it's like, oh, avoid the stink finger. Oh, avoid the stink. Oh, avoid the stink finger. So she goes and she gets up to thoroughly wash and bleach her finger, and he's like, "Thank you." I'm like, dude. Anyway, anyway, because I was surprised. I only appreciated that scene because again, I felt like that was a realistic moment because it's like, look, this is what's happening. More people are feeling more comfortable to be who they are and say what they like and what they don't like, and that's definitely what his character gives me. He's very honest about his situation. When she told Carr the next day, it's like, oh, I'm glad that you're open to more experiences because it's true. Before Mary Jane, she would be approved, and when I say approved, I mean anything that wasn't the traditional in and out and done. She looked at the person sideways. But then again, this is the woman who um, took her ex's sperm and froze it and all of that so that she could eventually go and have his. Anyway, it gets real. It gets very real. Um, Now, Mary Jane, she has Cardi B, and Cardi B's coming on to the set. Mary Jane's trying to talk to Justin, and Justin is just giving her the cold shoulders. It's like, here are your notes. You're just going to talk about the woman's fashions. You're not trying to go and peer into her soul. Rhonda, on the other hand, is trying to coerce her and, rile her up, which she successfully does. Like, I knew as soon as she started to talk that was her whole motive. Her motive was to say, okay, Mary Jane, you're the company you keep, and the people who you interview are the company that you keep as well. So they're a direct reflection of you. So good luck, because what you're doing right now, so Mary Jane goes ahead and she decides to move forward with the quote-unquote interview when it's really more, it's really Cardi B showing her fashion line, or Hennessy, not Hennessy, Ciroc, Champagne, Cristal, whatever her name was on the show, to show her fashion, to let it be known. And she's just like, I don't see you wearing anything that I wear. You know, you kind of stuck up, and you know your body's kind of shaped a certain way and boxy, so it's not like you could rock my stuff anyway. This is strip. This is a strip suit. I was like, what? Yeah, it's a strip suit. It's a strip suit because no, it's like swimming lingerie because it's sexy, but you could wear it at the beach or wear it or wear it in the pool or wear it in your bed. Like, okay. So when Cardi B kept digging and digging at Mary Jane, by the way, shout out to Cardi B on this episode. I'm like, dang, I actually could have used her more. Like, not in this episode, but you know, have her pop in occasionally. Because that was really a nice breakup from the usual ebb and flow of the show. She decides, Mary Jane says, you know what? Shout out to the hood, shout out to all the hood rats. Shout out to whoever you think you are. You can go and find this at your local swap meet because Cardi B is doing pop-up shops, and Mary Jane was trying to see if she could get an exclusive on where the next pop-up shop would be. Cardi B was taking it as, you don't know what a pop-up shop is? The whole point is secrecy, so that people could go and run to it and get what they want to get. I'm like, she's not stupid. She knows what it is. So then Mary Jane tries to, you know, apologize to Cardi B and say, look, it was unprofessional for me that the way that I did. It's just like, you know what? You're just so uppity black woman in here thinking that you're better than everyone else when in reality, all you're doing is interviewing people like me. You have nothing going on. And Mary Jane said, she walked out. So I was like, no, I'm not going to let you, someone that looks like you and talks like you and sounds like you and thinks like you, talk to me any certain way. Trust and believe. I don't know who you think you're talking to, but don't try me because I'm not the one. Why don't you go and wash your face from having all those men wipe, put the, what was it? I was like, why don't you go and, oh, I remember now. She said, why don't you go and swallow your man's kids next time instead of having it on your face? And Cardi B was like, huh? Excuse me, the whole time it's being recorded. Mary Jane didn't know that. It's being recorded, and I think it was live too. I said, dang, I thought you were a stick in the mud. I didn't know you were that. See, that's why this place. And Mary Jane said, you know what? I'm sorry too. This is what happens when you're in an environment like this and you have to go and act a certain way at work. As soon as this is over, that's when you can go be your true, authentic self. I just want to let it be known that, yeah, I'm definitely down, definitely real. These people, the masks you have to wear, it's just like, no, respect. I respect you. So, no, I got you, girl. We cool. Of course, the producer, Gary, wants to go and speak to Mary Jane about, yeah, so about last night, so about what you did on air. Here we have Justin on the other hand, before she actually speaks to Gary, just like, you know what? You proved me right. You proved me right. You were a disappointment. I knew you were. I knew that you couldn't handle it. I knew who you are, what you are, and that's all it is. Mary Jane at one point went house shopping. Well, it's funny because I actually don't know how I skipped through all that, but she talked with her brother again, and she thought that her brother was sleeping around with some floozies when he was all he's doing was getting a massage. So at least in the forefront, he looks like he kind of changed or grew up. On the other hand, Mary Jane is still the same Mary Jane because Lee wanted to know, see, there's certain things I don't like if I want to go have with an apartment with you because it would be expensive. But you have to get this place because you want it, not because you want it for two. This place feels like at least two people should be in it. You need to get something, and I don't think I'm the one to give it to you. You want something. There's something you're not telling me. I don't know what it is, but what I do know is you're rushing this. I don't know why you're rushing this, but I can't do this. You haven't even met my kids. Mary Jane said, are you in or out? Excuse me? Are you in or out? I don't know. Okay, then you're out. Leave. Leave. She opens her door, and she finds out, guess what? Wait a minute. Did I jump the gun a little bit? I think I might have jumped the gun. Yeah. No, I was actually right on cue. Dang, how did I miss that? So then she's at work, and work's supposed to be going well, but what ends up happening is it goes really well. I thought that it was going to backfire on her with her whole thing with Cardi B and not being televised, but she said no. She was talking with Kara, and what ended up happening is all of these think pieces were put out, and all of these people want to go and speak to Mary Jane and be interviewed by her and interview her because now they're thinking, okay, this woman, she has to go and play multiple hats, and the misogyny and the roles that minorities play in large corporations and all of that. So it had this huge firestorm. If it wasn't for the internet, she probably would have been screwed. Um, the thing, though, is that now she's at home. She's all alone. She's texting with Cara, thinking, okay, maybe she's going to come over there since she actually has an oven so that she can cook or bake. But what ends up happening is Lee comes and he's just like, okay, so what are we watching? She said, wait, we're not broken up? No, we're not broken up. I know something's wrong with you, so let me know what it is. And Mary Jane says, I'm almost 40. I'm 2 months away from being 40, and I just want to rush things because I thought I would have my life together by the time I was 40. And that's not the case. And he said, yes, that's not the case, but here's the thing. I like you. I actually want my kids to come over the summer so that they can hang out and get to know you because I do see a future for us. You just can't rush it. There's nothing wrong with being 40 and not having it all together. Look, you're 40 and at least you have a relationship. That's not what normally happens. Kara, on the other hand, Alex comes over because he's like, we need to celebrate. He comes over with drinks and she has that look like, but I'm looking at her like, wait a minute. You live in New York. What is wrong with you? Why didn't you look through the peephole first? That whole, oh, who is it? Are you kidding me? The killer. That's who. Anyway, I'm nitpicking. The only thing going on with Mary Jane is she's irked since she got technically promoted / demoted from being on air to now she's going to take over the social media and do like a live, almost like a Access Hollywood live type of setup. But stream. So she's over it. It's just like I keep getting one thing and then I get pushed back. So that's it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Come back next week.